Sutton goes on to hit the lead from Strong. He's coming with a swooping run now.
He's put it up on the inside.
And Powerhouse finishes the fight.
Nearly got there in a three-way go here.
The trio on the far side.
Mr. Cleaner's on his mission out wide.
Oh, did she get there?
Saturday Arvo Racing returns this week with one of the great days on the Australian racing calendar. In Sydney, the stallion-making Golden Rose is the headline act as the best three-year-olds go head-to-head for $1 million in prize money and untold riches in the breeding barn. This year, Godolphin are striving for back-to-back wins in the Golden Rose, with the brilliant last-up winner Astern and the untapped potential of Impending. Across the border, Flemington plays host to Victoria's premier weight-for-age mile race, the Makybe Diva Stakes. The tough sprinter miler Blackheart Bart will start favourite in the race that has produced only 3 favourite winners in the past 15 years. We will also saddle up Australian Guineas winner Palantino and Melbourne Cup hero Prince of Penzance in a 3-pronged attack on the $500,000 race. Well, for racing fans all around Australia, this is one of the great days. We're here above the magnificent, iconic Flemington racecourse, and the Makybe Diva Stakes is the headline act there. As we say, a big hello and welcome combine Flemington and also Rosehill. The Makybe Diva is, of course, the highlight at Sofitel Girls' Day Out. But combine 2 Group 1s, 4 Group 2s you'll be seeing here on 7, 2 Group 3s and 3 listed races. So that's 11 black-type races and $3.5 million in prize money. Foot by Astern, he sprints away and captures the first Group 1 for the season in Sydney. And it's a breathtaking win to Astern. The colt by Medaglia Doro, that's the 5th Group 1 win for that stallion for Godolphin across the world in 2016. And James McDonald, this young man is 23 years of age and he's already captured 32 Group 1s. It is remarkable. What a win to Astern. $3.30 and $1.70. Oh My Sword, terrific. The filly, Impending, ditto. And Divine Prophet runs a stylish 4th as well.
You live and learn, and we're just lucky that we've brought him back now and he's going well.
Impending was good.
He's great. He probably, to be fair to him, if he'd have drawn where Astern was, he might have been not as brilliant but as successful. He's desperate to get a bit of galloping room.
So what's the path now for Astern? What does he follow to?
I think we need to get him home and see how he pulls up. We had envisaged taking him to Melbourne for the Caulfield Guineas Prelude, and I'd suggest that he'd probably run the mile at Caulfield the way he went today. We just need to see how he pulls up.
Did you have doubts about a mile before today? Did that confirm anything?
We're always, as confident as you can be, Greg, that because he was relaxing so well at home and such a big, strong horse. And the Medallias, traditionally, they can get a nice bit of ground out of sprinting families. We've got a couple of mares that run 1.5 miles out of sprinting families, so we were hoping that he could run it.
Well done. Go and enjoy it with your team.
Thanks.
What a sensational performance. Can't wait to see him during the Flemington Carnival and also at Caulfield. Which way will he go? That's going to be fascinating. Here is the Bobbie Lewis field. Under the Louvre is one of the key runners, so is Extravagant. What level can he get to in Australia? Kinglike at $5.10. The X factor in the race is Extravagant. This Group 1 winner to his horse, Steve Ortridge's horse, in a second because he is playing up in the mounting yard. Number 1 Under the Louvre, Group 1 sprinter. He'll get back. You'll have your heart in the mouth. He can storm over the top. He is a great each-way player.
Likes and so forth. You need to be on the job. He looks terrific. He's trialled very well leading into it. There was one little slight hiccup with a spike in his temperature.
Well, I tell you what, as the best of the outsiders, this horse is so consistent. The big concern is he doesn't win out of turns, and it's been over 500 days since he's had a win. He'll probably run a stylish 2nd or 3rd. Can you make a case for number 4 here down from Queensland, Sir Moments?
Well, it's a big test for him first up down the straight, Richo. We know he's been tested at very good level at Group 1 weight, Group 2 level weight for age over 1800. So I would imagine that he'll need this gallop down the straight. And wait for him to get up towards the mile, and there'll be a race for him around the carnival.
Durandell loves going down the straight, albeit in softer grade than this. His win in the Group 3 Standish on New Year's Day was fantastic. He returns for another program today. He's a big price taker. Maybe the one question is he might not be up to the class of those that carry the same colours like your top selection here, Kinglike.
Yeah, this is the horse I want to ride today, folks, and he's my top pick. He looks absolutely outstanding. You draw a line through his best run actually was at Flemington. That was in the Danehill Group 2, the 12th of September this time last year. He's been tested in Sydney. He was close up at Group 2 level behind English, who's an absolute star. She's a Group 1 winning sprinter. He rolls forward and dominates the speed, which I don't see too much of it. So Kinglike for me on top and looked fantastic.
Winona Costin comes to Melbourne to ride the Monstar for Brett Kavanagh, who trains at Albury. This horse is really quick if you let him go. Has placed on 2 occasions down the straight at Flemington from 5 attempts. I've got a couple ahead of him. Number 8 is Santa Ana Lane. Well, wasn't he good first up?
He's still learning what it's all about, Richo. On that occasion at Caulfield, he found a little bit of trouble. He's a big horse that likes galloping room. So down the straight at Flemington, which he has trialled, I listened to Lee Friedman, his trainer, talk about his gallop down the straight. He'll handle that. He drops 4.5 kilos, which brings him right into calculations, and at double figure odds don't leave him out of your multiples. He looks good, second up, much fitter. He's one you must include.
Number 9 is Tavachi making his way down. He's first up today. He's got an element of quality about him. He's the Sunshine Coast Guineas winner back in July, the same race that Winks won in 2015. Tavachi's got a lot of upside. Whether he can sprint with them over 1,200 metres will be interesting here. Wouldn't surprise to see him in the first 3. I really like him as a horse.
He's quite brilliant, isn't he? As is this horse too, Fatna. And Regan Bayliss rides here for Hayes. Now, Regan to ride 53 kilos, Richo, that's a big positive for me, because he's normally around the 54.5 kilos. Struggles to ride 54, but he's down to the 53 kilos. This guy won a Group 2 over 1,200 at Morfettville, and then he was tested at Group 1 level. He's my best roughie. Now, he's come into $7.20 here. He's trolled up well, worked well from the Hayes team, Fatna.
I think this is the best value in the race, and it is. We've got this with Craig Newitt. He will get back. He'll be back alongside Under the Louvre. He had similar sectional times as Under the Louvre in his first up run at Caulfield. He's won down the straight at Flemington. You've got to ride him back quiet, cold, get in behind horses, and then one quick sprint the last 200-300 metres, and he can be right in the race. Number 11, we've got this. Number 12 is Astro Castro. We've seen him on one occasion. He won at 100-1 down the straight, and he's about a quarter of that price now, Matty Campbell. Astro Castro. Good news is Damien Oliver's jumped on board Extravagant. He is starting to settle down. Hopefully he can get the mind back on the job. He's one of the key runners coming up next in the Bobbie Lewis. Welcome back to Flemington, the Bobbie Lewis quality Group 2 sprint not far away. Matty Campbell, who's our market mover?
We've got one at odds here, Richo. Durandell, 17s into 11s for the Ellerton Zara camp. Likes the straight 6, fresh, 17s to 11s.
Tough betting race. Just repeat your top selection, Simon Marshall.
OK, I've got Kinglike on top from the Gerald Ryan stable with Chris Parnham to ride, looking for a double, and the 10, Fatna. And it's not quite double figure odds now. There's been a good push for Fatna first up.
I've got Under the Louvre on top, and also we've got this as the value, and they'll both be near last. So heart-in-the-mouth stuff for the punters if they're keen to follow them in. General Leafay's about to go forward. Let's join Greg Miles to call the action. First leg of the quaddie.
Run up the straight. They're all in the stalls. Field ready. Bobbie Lewis, 1,200 metres. They're away. Fatna jumped away pretty well towards the outside. Under the Louvre jumped well, and generally for deep out away quickly. Durandell, Kinglike in the middle of the line began fast, and the Monstar's going to go pretty much solo towards the inside. He's going to go on his own down there up the middle of the course, and Kinglike with the red cap is showing the way ahead of Durandell, and Santa Ana Lane, Astra Castro just in behind that leading bunch of horses in some moments. Another division close to the grandstand railers led by Fatna ahead of Extravagant in the orange colours, and then Tavachi. Under the Louvre's not far away. He's within about 4 or 5 lengths of them, and we've got this at the tail end of the field. Coming to the the 400. Fartanar on the grandstand rail. He charges into the lead. King Like, he's had to go for the whip. Durandal is still there. The Monstar over on the far side. It's Fartanar in front of Tavachi coming on his outside. Durandal near the middle of the course. King Like is boxing on. Under the loop, starting to weave his way through. Fartanar's all out. Under the loop, trying to launch a late challenge, but Fartanar is clear of Under the Loop and Tavachi. And Fartanar is too good. He wanted a length and a half, Tavachi. Getting home strongly. We've got this in a photo for third with Under the Loop, and then generally for Durandal, King Like, the Monstar over on the inside all on his own. They were followed by Santa Ana Lane, Astro Castro, Sir Moments. Oh, something's wrong with Extravagant for sure. He's run a distant last.
Yeah, we need to follow up Extravagant. He'll be the story out of the race. There was big issues before he even went to the barriers, and he hasn't shown his best, but I'll tell you what, Fartanar has. Regan Bayliss for Sheikh Hamdan and Lindsay Park Racing. They win a Group 2 with Fartanar first up from a spell. Simon, it was your roughie. It got backed in big time, didn't it? It ends up winning, defeats Tavachi. That's a terrific return. We've got this, flashes home late just to pinch third from Under the Louvre. It was probably anchored by the big weight, but a great win to Fartanar.
Well, that was his 9th start for his 4th win at Group 2 level now. And well done to young Regan Bayliss, who's joined the Hayes and Davenick team as an apprentice jockey. Came over from Peter Moody when Peter Moody decided to have a spell from the game. And here we go. Regan Bayliss to the left of screen. Beautiful lightweight at 53 kilos. There was 2 races here. There was Fartanar to the left of screen with Tavachi, if you like, as, running into second with We've Got This. And then on the right of screen, you had King Like and Under the Louvre just weaving his way back in behind them with Durandal. But you can see Regan Bayliss with the lightweight first up, coming off very good Group 1 form, 5th in the Goodwood, if you like. He got to the front nice and early, and he had that break. And what he was able to do, having that break, he took away the sprint with Under the Louvre, carrying the 59 kilos. Here, nice and fresh, second up. So that's a terrific win for Hayes Davenick too. He'll continue along the handicap style of races, heading into the Spring Carnival there, if you like, Richo. That's a dominant win for a horse that's gone the next step.
Yeah, that's right. Flemington trainers to the 4 there with the first 2 across the line. Mike Moroney's Tavachi, that's a nice return for him. There's got to be a nice race over a mile. Fartanar, does he stay sprinting or does he get out to the 1,400 metres for a race like the Sir Rupert Clark? Good win.
And what about the leap that We've Got This has made?
Terrific win to Fartanar, and there is the style of a young apprentice who is going places, and he captures a Group 2 and he's ecstatic about it. $4.30 and $2.20 for Lindsay Park Racing. Tavachi runs second at a huge price. We've Got This as well for Greg Urell at $3.40. So the numbers 10, 9, 11 and 1. And here on 7 Racing, we continue to cover all the angles of racing. Let's rejoin Georgia Connolly.
I'm standing here with Samantha Wills, the Creative Director of Yellow Glen Terrace. Now, Samantha, are you pleased to be home for spring racing?
I'm always pleased to be home for spring racing. It's so fun and, it's a great time to come home.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about this gorgeous Yellow Glen Terrace that you're unveiling?
This is one of the most beautiful terraces I think we've done. Emma Hawkins is responsible for this year's one. She's done a beautiful mix of kind of a traditional take on the florals, but mixing in a bit of sparkling as an ode to the consumer, which is so fun.
It's stunning. Now, what can we expect in here this year?
This year it's always about the VIP treatments. You've got the gorgeous bar, there's specialty cocktails in here, and obviously the entire sparkling range from the Yellow Glen portfolio is always available.
It's amazing, and I'm sure it will be a delight for everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, I'm with New Zealand jockey Danielle Johnson, who's riding Sophia Rose at the bottom weight in today's Maccabi Diva Stakes. Danielle, how will she go?
I think she's going to run a nice race today. I would like to see her hitting the line. She's got a bit of an awkward draw to contend with, but, if she finishes in the top 4 or 5, we'll be very happy.
You finished 3rd in last year's New Zealand Jockeys Premiership, but this is your first trip to Flemington.
It is, first trip to Melbourne, so it's been a good one, and hopefully we can have a bit of luck today.
Have you had a look around, walk the course?
Yes, I have. It's a lovely big track, and, it's going to give us every possible chance out there today.
Tell us about your mare.
She's a tough thing. She's a typical female, I should say.
I'm glad you said that, not me. I read where you wouldn't like to ride her in track work.
No, I'm happy just hopping on a race day.
Oh, well, that's a very big wrap for your horse, and good luck this afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
More on the Mackay Diva shortly. We've got the Theo Marks not far away at Rosehill. Rebel Dane at $7. Counter Attack looks well placed at the weights at $4.80. And Southern Legend's going to take a power beating, has won 4 of its 6 career starts. It is the $2.70 favourite. Here is the class in the race. Rebel Dane, he's already a Group 1 winner, and as a result, he's got 59 kilos. He has to give 6 kilos to a good group of 4-year-olds like Counter Attack, Southern Legend and Snoopy. That is going to be the big query for Rebel Dane. I think he's going really well, but that's why he is the price he is with the 59 kilos third up. I think he can run a nice race. Here's number 2, Massini.
I thought he was an eye-catcher behind Tycoon Tara, who's put 2 together this time in. That's very good form back at the Group 3 level. He's up to Group 2 here. He's drawn a nice gate, and I think that he goes back from his gate, gets a little bit of cover, and good speed in this will suit him. 1,300-metre winner. There's a little bit to like about him at $20.80, as you can see.
Horse number 3 is Vashka. He'll come on screen shortly for the Godolphin operation. James McDonald and John O'Shea combining. He'll be second up for a spell today. And he is just a dead-set winning machine, Vashka, especially here at Rosehill. He relishes Rosehill. He's won 5 of his 6 career starts, and he just went to a different level 2 seasons ago and has continued on his winning way.
Well, we just saw Under the Louvre run well there at Flemington. Now, Vashka beat Under the Louvre 2 starts back at Caulfield at Group 3 level, and that was at 1,400. There's a bit of class there. I'll blame the surface first up for this guy. Just a little bit shifty, and there was excuses offered.
Well, what a ripper, Tycoon Tara. It was trained by Simon Wilde at Warrnambool, and the Connections decided we would like to try it in Sydney. Gave it to Peter and Paul Snowden. They've won a Group 2 Missile Stakes first up, and then the Group 3 Show County. An unbelievable result for the owners, and now, from a mare's point of view, she's got black type. Gee, they'd be pleased, wouldn't they? Counter Attack's my top selection alongside of you.
Well, Richo, he's got residual fitness, this guy, coming off a Brisbane Winter Carnival. And look, he won quite well at Doomben at Group 3 level over the 1350, so that's good form. And then he was close up behind Under the Louvre with not much luck. So they put him out. He's had a light spell. They've kept the residual fitness on him. What I liked about his trial leading into this is he said, back me wherever I go first up. He was trucking. He's drawn an inside gate, Hugh Bowman. He's going to need a little bit of luck getting out at the right time, but I'm with you, Richo. Top pick for me.
Yeah, he's got the Group 1 form, and with the weights, with the 55.5 kilos, gee, I think he's perfectly placed. Oxford Poet is a big prize for Kim Ward. Jay Ford takes prep down the money. This is its toughest task. They ran third last start over 1,400 metres. So just drops back the 100 metres. He'll go forward. He might be our obvious leader, and the level of pressure will be important here. McIntosh has been nommed for all the features in spring, Cox Plate, Caulfield Cups and the like, and he's first up today.
Have a look at him on his toes now. He's sweating around the flanks, which is not necessarily a good vibe or a good sign for him. He comes off with the Brisbane Winter Carnival with some great residual fitness as well. Look, he was tested at 2,200 metres, and therefore and he won that. And he also was tested at the Derby distance too. He sprinted quite well, fresh over the 1,500 metres. So, geez, he's really on his toes here for a first-up showing. But he just looks to be melting a little bit back at the races. And for me, that's a little negative.
Yeah, he's a later scenario, isn't he? Probably Old North is the same. He won the Tulloch during the Autumn Carnival in Sydney. He's probably best at 2,000 metres, so he'll kick off his campaign today. They'll be looking for him to get back and run on stylishly, and he'll warm up. He is also another one that's been nominated and heading towards Caulfield Cups and Cox Plates if he can get to that sort of a level as a new season 4-year-old. So Old North is another one that probably needs this today, and then look to entertain him a little later on. However, number 9 is Southern Legend. This is our favourite, and this is a now scenario for him.
Yeah, he's shooting for 5 in a row, and he stamped himself first up this time in, carrying the 60 kilos when he put him away after sitting off a hot speed. He's furnished into a beautiful gelding by not a single doubt. This will be 7th start, heading for his 5th win if he happens to get the job done. The 53 kilos from barrier 3, he ticks all the boxes. That's why he's our favourite leading into this.
This is my best value in the race, number 10, Snoopy. He's had a couple of runs back this preparation. He was tested as a 3-year-old. He wasn't far off the absolute best of the 3-year-olds, up towards a mile, but I think he's better back at this trip, 1,400 metres, Snoopy, the son of Lope de Vega. He won 11 of his 4 starts. He's had a couple of runs this preparation. He can put himself on speed, and I think he can run into the minor money, and at $16.20 is worth an each-way play. They are the runners for the Theo Marks. Welcome back to 7 Racing. The short price favourite, Southern Legend, who many good judges think can get to a Group 1 level, has gone forward. It is the favourite for the Theo Marks. And I just went around for a little value around it. We've both gone with the same horse in number 5, Counter Attack. Really respect Southern Legend. Snoopy is my value in the race in a tough race outside the favourite. And just waiting for the last runner to come in.
Geez, Vashka at the $20 is my rough. He sits back off a hot speed. Should finish on strong.
Here's Darren Flindell to call the action of the Theo Marks.
And the Godolphin duo, the last to move in. Vashka with an outstanding record here at Rosehill. And Old North resuming today. Brenton Abdullah on Old North as it goes in. And James McDonald riding on a real high following the outstanding win of Astern and the Golden Rose. He goes in on Vashka. And we're set now for the Theo Marks. The Task Retail Theo Marks and the Rough and Racing. Old North was the last one out of the gates, and Southern Legend jumped well. But Oxford Poet's going to head it off in the early part with Tycoon Tara mustering into second. Going forward on the outside is Vashka and McIntosh handy from Messina. And Clark takes a sit now on Southern Legend in 6. 2 further back to Counter Attack, Rebel Dane, Snoopy. Old North resuming's the last one at about 9 lengths off the leader. Oxford Poet and Vashka going along at a strong tempo. 2 lengths clear from Tycoon Tara. Then McIntosh on the outside of Southern Legend. 2 further back to Messina, half to Counter Attack. Length and a half to Rebel Dane, and the last 2 Snoopy and Old North, who's trucking along last and still about 8 lengths off the leaders. It's Oxford Poet and Vashka from Tycoon Tara. McIntosh the outside. Southern Legends hugging the rails as they turn. Counter Attack slightly strung up as they turn. Messines on its outside into the straight. Oxford Poet and Vashka. Clark's looking for the run on Southern Legend. There's just enough room. Tycoon Tara, McIntosh make their runs. Tycoon Tara, McIntosh. Southern Legend's got room on the fence now. Snoopy's flashing home. Counter Attack off heels. McIntosh, Tycoon Tara. Counter Attack is surging. McIntosh just in front of Counter Attack, and McIntosh wins the Theo Marks. It's McIntosh from Counter Attack. Third between Southern Legend and Tycoon Tara, clear from Snoopy. They beat off Oxford Poet, Messina, Vashka, Old North and Rebel Dane.
Well, he went to pieces in the mounting hut. He didn't look a treat, and he is a stayer. He's been aimed at Cox Plates and Caulfield Cups, and here he is first up in the Theo Marks. He wins the race that last year Winks won first up. His name is McIntosh. Chris Waller gets another win, and so does Joe Moreira. He gets a double, but the horse that ran second, there is no doubt in the world, should have won the race. His name is Counter Attack for Chris Waller and Huey Bowman. He was luckless. When we look at the head-on, Simon, Huey had nowhere to go and would have been only 150 metres out. He finally got out.
Well, he got on the right horse in Tycoon Tara there in the light blue and black quartered cap, but she just didn't kick. Southern Legend squeezed out Vashka in the blue there. Southern Legend is in the white and red colours to your left of screen, but once Hugh was trying to get out, his stablemate, McIntosh, Joey Moreira, says, I want to stay first up. I'm just going to hold you in a pocket. Gives the horse a couple of whops with the left hand, and Hugh goes to poke his left-hand turnpike. Out we come, misses the boat. Only 100 metres to go. He tries to pick himself up and get going. Ding-dong battle between 3 very good...
Mackay Diva.